I'm Shelley Nadell. Welcome to Food and Finance with Shelley, and welcome to my kitchen and my home, where we take food and we get delicious recipes and we make them digestible. At the same time, we make financial tips digestible, so they go down a little bit easier and you're a lot more comfortable with your finances. I am a certified financial planner for my professional life. For my personal life, I'm an amateur chef. I love to cook. I love to use fresh ingredients, cook different things. It's summertime in Houston, hot, oh my gosh. And so I like to have cold salads around. This recipe today is going to be a Chinese chicken salad with a creamy tahini dressing. Delicious in warm weather, very cold and crisp. We're gonna have some great techniques that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're gonna make is a Chinese chicken salad with udon noodles and bok choy. The water's boiling and this is baby bok choy. So bok choy normally comes this big thing. This is baby bok choy. It's smaller, a lot more tender. And what we're gonna do to blanch it, I'm gonna literally stick it in boiling water. So I've got my cold water here. I'm gonna dump some ice in it, make it really cold, and it's gonna cook for 1 minute, and then what blanching does, you put it in cold water and it stops cooking. So it's gonna keep that great bright green look on it. Whenever you can, get fresh seasonal vegetables and fruits, because those are gonna be the healthiest, and those are gonna be the best tasting. Just the same in your finances, make sure you do healthy financial choices. You plan ahead, you anticipate issues, you make sure you're planning for your future, whether it's college, retirement, legacy. And so you've got healthy food and healthy finance, kind of our mantra here on Food and Finance with Shelley. All right, so we've got it blanched. I'm gonna take it out of the water. Be very careful. This water is hot, obviously, boiling. I'm gonna put it immediately. And so if you notice, it stays green. You know, if you've cut green vegetables in the past, color's not so good, this is gonna stay that bright green. I need to squeeze the water out, literally like a sponge, okay? So, but it's not hot now because I put it in the cold water. I'm gonna chop it up really quickly. I don't want these ends, so I'm gonna chop that up, put this in my garbage bowl. I learned this trick from Rachel Ray, and I put everything in the garbage bowl that I'm gonna put in the compost heap. I'm gonna take some of these big pieces and I'm going to move them like this, and I'm gonna chop them like this. I've got my chopped bok choy, and this is going to be such a quick thing. Why do we blanch foods? Well, particularly if you're gonna serve a cold dish, you wanna make sure with your crisp vegetables, they stay crisp. You know, nobody likes mushy green beans, right? Or mushy broccolis. So we've got our bok choy nice and chopped up, ready to go. And these are our noodles. Now I made these ahead of time. These are udon noodles. You can also use something called soba noodles. They're gonna be in the Asian section of your grocery stores. And these are actually made with buckwheat, so they've got a little bit of extra healthiness there. After I made them, they were gonna stick together like noodles do often, so I grabbed some sesame oil and I just dashed it around, and there's two benefits to that. One, it keeps them from sticking, and they smell divine, and they're gonna be so delicious when we finish the salad. We are going to start layering our ingredients. The first ingredient we're gonna do is we're actually gonna put our bok choy in. So watch me step by step, just like you do step-by-step ingredients in a recipe, you wanna do step-by-step ingredients in your financial plan. You don't wanna do it all at once, and you wanna make sure that every step layers on one another, and so everything is related. Your savings, your investment, your protection, your legacy planning, everything is together, and the financial plan as a whole is integrated, and you know the big picture going forward. And now we're going to put our main protein, and that is chicken. Now, I could shred chicken. This recipe initially called for poaching chicken. It took like 2 days. I don't know about you. I don't have time for that kind of stuff, right? I'm way too busy in the kitchen as a financial professional. Not gonna do that. So what do? I go to my local grocery store and I buy shredded chicken. This is white meat. You can also do dark meat. And I'm just gonna cut up the pieces that are a little bit big, like this one here. And I'm just gonna drop it in the salad. I mean, this could not be easier. You literally can do this entire recipe in 10 minutes if you have all the ingredients. And that includes cooking the noodles. And now we're gonna add some vegetables to it. Celery, like that crunch. We have got some julienne cucumbers. Now what does a julienne mean? It means you're gonna cut it into thin strips. So I'm gonna drop those in, and all I did was I cut the cucumber in half, and I went like this, and I cut it again, and then I did like this. You can do it really any way you want. I mean, this is your salad. If you don't want julienne and you want little pieces, put it in little pieces. It's your choice. And then we're going to add some cilantro. So this is fresh cilantro. And there are different ways to do cilantro. You can use scissors. In this case, it's probably better to use the knife. I'm just gonna chop about 3/4 of a cup. I'm gonna move that back in the bowl. And then I'm gonna go like this and try to chop it thinner. Just gonna sprinkle it on top. Oh, our bowl's getting full here, right? Now, let's get to making the dressing. And I'm gonna add all these delicious ingredients in. I have got my soy sauce, sesame oil. You don't wanna add too much. Sesame oil is very pungent. I have my vegetable broth, and you could also use chicken broth, but I use vegetable honestly because I have it in my fridge and it's always really healthy. I've got some scallions, and that's what the scallion looks like before you chop it up. I've got some rice wine vinegar. Here you go, rice vinegar. You can also get some seasoned. I like mine natural, I like to season it myself. Pour that in. Oh, just that light vinegar smell. And then I'm gonna add some tahini. Okay, now tahini is a sesame paste, and it has oil on the top, and then we're gonna stir it in. It's got a little bit of a nutty taste. If you've had Middle Eastern food, you've probably had some. We're gonna put about 3 tablespoons in here. So I'm gonna get my tablespoon. And you know what, it's to taste, so if you don't like it as much, you can put less, but we're gonna add 3 tablespoons. The sesame paste and the soy sauce and the sesame oil all blend together, and the smell is really, really good. The last ingredient we're gonna put in is fresh ginger. Now, you've seen me on other recipes, or maybe you need to check out the other recipes to see how I have some tricks about using fresh ginger, but this is a trick that I haven't talked about. This is ginger I've already taken the skin off, and I'm storing it. This is months old, and I'm storing it in what's called mirin, which is sweet cooking rice wine, okay, very specific. And you store it in there, and then whenever I need it, I just take it out. And I've got it. I keep it in my fridge. I've always got it ready so I don't have to run to the store for the fresh ginger. This recipe calls for chopped ginger, so make sure you be careful. You got your sharp knives. So let me tell you while I'm doing this about a client of mine. She is a single mom. She adopted a child when the daughter was a baby, and she has raised her completely on her own. She also is helping her elderly mother. And she came to me and said, you know what, I just don't have any idea. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if it's all gonna help me out and if I can take care of my daughter and my mother. And so we've been working together for over 5 years, and we have bought and sold houses together. We've gotten her daughter's education planned for. We've got her retirement taken care of. She contributes to her retirement accounts. All those things layered together create a really comprehensive, understandable strategy. Every time we talk now, she's happy. She's like, okay, I want to ask you about this. And so the great thing about it is it's a relationship. We're very comfortable with each other. She trusts me. I trust her to be candid with me. We just talk things out. And I hope that you find an advisor that you're comfortable with. You should feel like it's a relationship and a partnership. All right, we've got this chopped ginger. I'm gonna add it into my sauce. Now, if you wanna make the ginger smaller, you can either grate it or you can use ginger juice is another way to do it. So we're gonna whisk it together, and taste it to make sure. I don't think it needs any salt. You may want salt. If you want to, fine, add it in. I don't think it needs it. So now it's time to plate our delicious chicken noodle salad with tahini dressing. So I'm gonna grab some noodles over here. I'm gonna just arrange them in a pile like this. The sesame smell is delicious. And then I'm going to take this salad and I'm going to arrange it on top. May or may not look as pretty as I want, but that's okay because it's gonna taste delicious. And then I'm gonna grab some dressing. We're back at the best part of these things, which is to get to eat it, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add a little color, decorate it a little bit. Don't be afraid to use color. Don't be afraid to consult an expert when it comes to your cooking, and don't be afraid to consult an expert when it comes to your finances. I want you to understand that any expert that you consult needs to have your best interests at heart. And in your eating, you need to make sure that they know your nutritional requirements and that they know maybe you're allergic to some foods. In your finance, that person needs to put your financial interests front and center, and only after that's done can they worry about their business prospects. If you're not getting that fiduciary best interest behavior, find someone who can. Doesn't that look a lot prettier with the color? Doesn't look great? I hope that during this program and during our other programs as well, you've learned some great tips about how to cook healthier for your family, things that make your gut feel great, and that you've also learned some easy financial tips, some ways to manage your financial world and make that healthier. So without further ado, I'm gonna start trying these dishes. And let's get some of the noodles and get cucumber. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's so light. I really hope that you've enjoyed these recipes. I hope you get a chance to make them at home. When you do, please note in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be a link to our website, foodandfinancewithshelley.com. And I hope you've walked away with some healthy food ideas and some healthy financial ideas. And if you do want to have a chat about financial questions you have, there'll be a link to my business website, Financial Success Strategies. Feel free to send us a message and we're happy to reach out to you. I'm going to sit down with my friends and family for a delicious lunch, and I really hope that you come back to my kitchen very soon. Take care.